Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. She's going to LA. She's going to have her own podcast. She's going to have a little show. And it's like, yo, you said Hawk 2 and now you're famous. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Wednesday morning. I'm in a good mood because I have the next 2 days off. I'll let your boy. We will be celebrating July 4th, the American Independence holiday. And I know I am Canadian and I just celebrated Canada Day, but because I have a North American show, I celebrate the Canadian and American holidays. So I'll be off tomorrow and Friday. So I'm very excited to have a 2-day work week this week. All right, let me get on with the show that I have set up for you guys. I got 3 lead stories. The first one, we're going to talk about a father that's assaulting a young boy after he catches him outside on the road with his daughter, feeling her up in the park. Well, not feeling her up, sorry, because that's top half, but feeling on her booty in the park. All right, and then, excuse me, and then our second lead story, we're going to talk about the Atlanta barber that had Donald Trump in there, and now he's getting backlash. Then our third and final lead story will be Uber and Lyft has both raised their minimum wage to $32.50, and I'll tell you what state that is in. Then we're going to jump over to speed news. We're going to talk about Lil Baby and his new Cybertruck, Drake in the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in New York, pictures of Ice Spice going viral, Rudy Giuliani being disbarred, and Rihanna asking GloRilla when her album is coming out. Then I'm going to jump into question of the day. And then, of course, as always, we're going to close out with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your radio, TVs, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to start off with my first lead story a little different. Normally I have like a headline or a clip from somewhere, but this story hasn't hit mainstream media. I woke up yesterday and it was all over my Twitter. I posted it on my Exclucity media page on Instagram. You guys check that out. And it literally went viral, was going viral on Twitter, and everybody was talking about it. So I wanted to start off the show talking about it. So for those of you who are not seeing the video that I'm playing beside me now, there is a young boy. He looks maybe 14, 15 years old, and there's a girl, and they're sitting kind of like at a bus stop. Sorry, I said earlier in the opening monologue that it was in a park, but it's more like at a bus stop, and she's leaning up against him. He's kind of sitting down or leaned up, and he has both of his hands around her butt, grabbing her butt. He's not being disrespectful. They're being very loving with each other. Both feelings of affection are very mutual. So the boy's not doing anything wrong. It's just more they're at a younger age. That would be the only thing. So you see the father driving up. He grabs a girl, throws her in the car, and then starts yelling at the boy. I'm going to play a little clip of the audio so that you can get the audio. Take a listen. So he starts yelling the boy, pushing him, getting up into his face like he's a man, like it's a man on man, but he is a young boy. Like I said, the story hasn't hit, so we don't have the official details of it. But like I said, I'm sure the kid is around not more than 15, 16 years old max. And there's this big man, close to 250 pounds, getting up in his face, talking about how he wants to be aggressive with him, and if he touches his daughter again, etc. Then there's another clip that shows the father pushing the daughter in the car. Okay, so that's the description for those of you who can't see it. So I'm going to go through some comments from my Exclucity media page. I hope I said that right earlier. Yeah, Exclucity media, just to make sure. I'm getting used to telling you guys about it. So EXCLUCITY media at Exclucity media on Instagram. You can go check out the video for those who are not on Spotify or YouTube. Anyway, so I put it up and it's divided. And I think that's why the story is going so viral, because a lot of people are saying that's not good parenting. Some people say that it is great parenting, what the father is doing. And others are saying, listen, you cannot put your hands and get up in somebody's face. If that was my boy, if that was my child who you're getting your face up in, I will come after and see the parent. That's what some parents are saying. Don't treat my 15 or 16-year-old boy like that just because your daughter is out here kissing up with him at a bus stop. I'm going to come and see you. So there are 3 or 4 different ways of looking at it. Some people said All right. So I'll read you some comments. So somebody said slapping the kid is crazy. Some people said it's only love. Somebody said good good job, father of the year. Somebody else said, why was bro recording them in the first place? I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. There's probably somebody that was just in an apartment building and they're seeing the confrontation happening. But I guess maybe I understand why is he recording them kind of like loving up. That's a very good point. I look at it that way. Okay, so another person said the dad boxed the boy when he should have regulated his daughter. I hope he's showing love at home, just not aggression. Let me go back 1 second just to make sure. Did the father hit the boy? Hold on, let me take a look at this 1 second. He slapped the boy. Okay, I didn't even realize that part. Or maybe I did it, I just didn't remember, but he slapped the boy. All right. Of course, that's why the first comment is slapping the kid is crazy. So, all right, let me keep on reading. So, all right. So it said little bro didn't sleep pops because he still wants to slap them cheeks. Okay, somebody else said all these comments and nobody knows the full story. Somebody said never put your hands on another man's son, and the father's reaction is wild, always depends on the country. Another person said excessive for sure. He could get his message across without being physical with the boy. He said somebody else said these are both kids. Somebody else said, I need content to understand what's exactly going on here. But on the surface, it looks like bullying. He's traumatizing the young boy. That's what it looks like. It's giving double L vibes. Somebody else said, I understand his anger, but you're not slapping my son across the face. Another person said, mad because his daughter got a new daddy. Okay, that's not really nice. All right, let me read this last one. It's a full paragraph. Somebody wrote, I feel for the boy. He looks like a teenager. The dad should have been talking with his daughter, but it's not right to come at the young man all aggressive like that when you're an adult yourself, especially because he's clearly wasn't talking back or being aggressive or anything. So that's one of the points that I kind of wanted to point out. You don't necessarily see the kid being aggressive and talking back, but you don't know. Like the video is from afar. You're not hearing everything what's going on. So the kid could have been a little bit cheeky with the father. However, my opinion is even if he was cheeky, even if he was saying anything, you can't slap the kid across his face. And like I said, rewatching it now, he does clearly slap him. It's very quick. He does clearly slap him. But I was even under the impression in the beginning that he was all getting up in the kid's face and yelling at the kid. And that I didn't even like. I thought that was wrong. So of course the slapping is a problem for me. For those of you who are saying that it's good parenting, I'm not going to be naive and say I don't understand where you're coming from. But even though I can understand where you're coming from, it's still wrong, right? Like those people that are looking at it that way are looking at it and saying, hey, there's some men out there that don't give a crap about their kids, and he's being passionate because he doesn't want, his daughter with this boy, etc. But just because some men are not present doesn't mean we should excuse bad parenting just because the parent is there. And I won't get too deep into it, but I literally talk about it in my book, How Sneakers Saved My Life, for those of you who want to copy it on Amazon. But I started out talking about, my relationship with my father and just especially like West Indian parents out there. And I feel like a lot of the older generation fathers didn't have an example, or didn't have good examples. So they themselves are like, well, you know what? My dad wasn't there, so I'm going to make sure I'm there for my kid. And the fact that they think just because they're actually present that they could do whatever they want, where I don't agree with that. So I understand where that is coming from, but in 2024, that kind of stuff cannot no longer go on. Just the reasoning of being there and loving my daughter at all costs or my son at all costs is just wrong. There's certain things that you have to abide by, and there's certain rules and regulations, I think, that that come with being a parent, and just the excuse of, oh, I'm present and I'm here and I'm caring is no longer enough. And also there goes to the fact of this kid is a minor and he has his own parents. So then you're opening up a whole other kind of worm. So this is just wrong on all levels. And I could see why it's going viral, because, not everybody agrees on how you should parent. And like I said, a lot of people just come out and be like, well, at least he's there, or at least he's caring. So ultimately, this starts at home. You have to be able to instill the values that you want in your children to the best of your ability. And some kids take it and some kids don't. But I wouldn't look to necessarily blame the boy or to blame the child, especially if they are 16 or 17. And I would look like, what can I do, or what have I done or have not done or can do better? And then I think that's the best way to solve the situation. So that's my opinion, and that's my take on it. Like I said, for those of you who want to see the video, go to my Instagram page, my new media Instagram page, Exclucity, EXCLUCITY media on Instagram. You can also check me out, obviously, too, on Trent Out Loud. And let me know what you think. Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at any of my social handles. I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me know. All right, in our second lead story, Atlanta barbershop owner alleges that he lost customers at mid-campaign event and was unaware that his business would be used to endorse Trump. Okay, on June 26th, Rocky's Barbershop in Atlanta, Georgia, was the hosting site for a campaign event for the candidacy of Donald Trump. Rocky Jones, the owner of the barbershop, tells 11 Alive that he was misled and was under the impression that he would be hosting a Black business forum. The event started as a small gathering until politician Ben Carson received a call from Donald Trump, and then what was a conversation about Black-owned businesses spiraled into a political conversation. I'm like, why is the ex-president calling somebody in my barbershop? This has nothing to do with small Black businesses, Rocky Jones. Rocky has since alleged that the event has negatively impacted his business and that his clientele is beginning to decline. Here's a little clip. Take a listen.
Rocky's Barbershop in Atlanta says he feels he was misled by a campaign event for former President Trump.
I don't know how I feel about the story, to be honest, because I want to try to give the guy, Rocky Jones, benefit of the doubt. I hate calling people liars. I don't want to ever be called a liar if I'm telling the truth about my story one day. However, if you're going to have Ben Carson in your barbershop and you're going to be talking about Black-owned businesses, he is a big, huge Trump supporter. You know that he may even be Donald Trump's running mate for VP. And if you don't know, you should do some research and find out who you're bringing into your barbershop. And then also, if Ben is there, then who are the other people that are there? Like, I don't think Ben's going to show up to something that's like a very liberal. So again, I'm just assuming here, but if it's Ben Carson and a couple of other people, they're probably going to be other Republicans or maybe center, or even maybe extreme right wing. So you can't just open your door and open your businesses to people like Ben Carson and just think that the Donald Trump conversation is not going to pop up and it's just going to be about Black-owned businesses. So again, I'm just assuming, but what I'm assuming is that this guy Rocky just like, hey, I jumped on the opportunity. This could be great for my business. Sure. And then now that you have declining sales because you're getting backlash from Trump, you're like, hey, I never knew about this, whatever, blah, blah. I'm sure at the time when it was happening, you were probably happy. Probably even maybe when Trump called you, like, what? Yo, Trump is calling. And he probably thought it was going to be good for his shop. And now he's getting backlash for it. You see that happening a lot with people supporting Trump, and then they get a little backlash, and then they kind of maybe steer left or steer right. But then you have people like Amber Rose who double down and like, yo, I don't care. But anyways, like I said, this story sounds a little bit weird to me, but I'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully his business comes back up to full potential and starts running, because I'm not here to bash any small mom and pop businesses. So I hope it all works out for you, Rocky. All right, in our third and final lead story, Uber and Lyft raises minimum wage to $32.50 per hour for drivers in Massachusetts settlement. Uber and Lyft drivers in the state of Massachusetts are set to see a big win in their wages and employee benefits after the company reaches a settlement on Thursday. According to ABC News, Uber and Lyft have agreed to pay drivers a minimum wage of $32.50 per hour. The settlement comes after the state's attorney general slapped both companies with a lawsuit alleging they treated drivers as independent contractors in order to compensate them at lower wages. The company also agreed to provide drivers with sick leave, accident insurance, and health care benefits. Attorney General Andrea Campbell announced the terms of the settlement on Thursday. For years, these companies have been underpaying their drivers and denying their base benefits, Campbell wrote in a statement. Today's arraignment holds Uber and Lyft accountable and provides their drivers, for the very first time in Massachusetts, guaranteed pay, paid sick leave, occupational accident insurance, and health care stipends. While this win is significant to drivers in Massachusetts, states like California and Minnesota are also fighting for rideshare drivers to be treated as employees instead of independent contractors, thus raising their minimum wage and providing them with benefits. So we'll see how this turns out. That's why I thought this story was interesting. I know that I don't know how many listeners I have in Massachusetts, but I'm sure across all of Canada and the US, probably not a lot in just Massachusetts. So sorry for anybody else who's seeing this or anybody else anywhere else in the world. But I wanted to tell you guys this because if you're in a state or if you're in a province or anywhere else in the world and you have Lyft and you have Uber, or you know somebody that's a driver and are underpaid, send them this story, send it into your legal offices, and you could help, and you could use this as precedent to say, hey, this was done in Massachusetts. And normally, especially in the US, you'll start seeing them be able to use this precedent. If one judge has granted this, it'll be a lot easier for other judges in other states and the rest of the world to grant this. Now, the one question I have, the one question I have is the $32.50 on the surface sounds good because that's great minimum wage, but that's great minimum wage for somebody who's like, I don't know, working at McDonald's, let's just say. But if you're driving around for an hour at these gas prices, $32.50 an hour, if you take out the gas, how much gas are you left with that? So again, I'm not a Lyft driver. I don't know anybody that is, or an Uber driver. But to me, the math is not really like mathing. To me, it should be your minimum wage plus gas. So if that $32.50 is including gas, that's not that great. The benefits and the accident insurance and all of that stuff, that's amazing. But I still think it should be a little bit more. That's just my opinion. What do I know? All right, this brings us to speed news. Ring my bell. All right, so Lil Baby was seen in New York City with a new all-red Cybertruck. For those of you who are regular listeners to the show, you know I'm in love with Cybertrucks. So Lil Baby popped out with this first original chrome one, and now he has this red one. I'm going to, of course, post it on my YouTube page or on Shopify. You'll see it. It's like a glossy, shiny red. It's almost like the same color red as like a Ferrari, and their rims are red, and they're like really horrible rims. So this is the first Cybertruck that I actually don't like. I think a Cybertruck, because it's a futuristic truck, should always be like a matte or something different than just like a candy, like normal red. So yeah, I'm not really like all that crazy over it, but you guys, I wanted to post it up, let you guys know let me know what you guys think about it. Send me an email or DM or comment below. Is Lil Baby's new Ferrari red Cybertruck popping, or do we want to leave that metal look? Or like I've seen some nice, really matte black ones, or even all blacked out. Like, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the color. All right, in our second speed story, Madame Tussauds New York unveils wax figure of Drake. All right, again, another photo that you guys need to go onto Spotify and YouTube and check out. It is horrible. This Madame Tussauds wax of Drake is atrocious. Drake looks like a white guy with horrible hair and just like, it's just really bad. Just because he has like, his hair braided and he has a beard. The beard is actually pretty on point. Like that is Drake's beard 100%. But I think it's like the eyes and the nose. Like it's just not good. I don't like the little hand gesture. Like, no, like it's just really whack. But again, go check it out on my YouTube page or Spotify and let me know what you guys think. But it's not good. I don't understand how sometimes Madame Tussauds wax museums could be so on point. Like, the wax figure like literally is like a replica. Like it looks scary. It's like you're looking at the person, and then sometimes it's such a huge miss. Why don't you just, if you know that it's crap, why don't you scrap it and just start all over? Like why put this out when you know it's gonna be whack and get torn apart online? Anyways, that's it for Drake and Madame Tussauds. All right, in our third speed story, there's a picture of Ice Spice that is going viral from before and after her fame. Again, sorry by the way that every story so far has been, you got to see this picture, you got to see this video. I'm actually not trying to just get you go to the YouTube page or Spotify, but hey, it's just how it is sometimes. I don't make up the news, I just report it. Anyway, so there's a picture floating around of Ice Spice where the picture of her before, she looks a little thicker or a little heavier. And then they have another picture, I think it's from the BET Awards, I'm pretty sure, where she literally looks like 50 or 60 pounds lighter. People just do this online, so don't get caught up in this. First of all, we just saw Ice Spice at the BET Hip Hop Awards, and she's still thick, she's still got booty, she's still shaking, she's still dancing, she's still hurt. So don't try to come for Ice and be like, oh, she's changed it up, she's on Ozempic. This picture that they put beside, trust me, is like if it's not photoshopped, it's just a very horrible angle. And she literally looks like 50 or 60 pounds lighter. Ice is never going to be a skinny girl. That's just not how her body is made up. I just even watched a video of her on Angela Yee's Wake Up. And she was saying, listen, I've been born like this. Like I'm used to this. Angela Yee asked her like, are you comfortable being sexual? And she's like, look, since I was a young girl, I've always been more advanced. So I'm used to like men looking at me. I grew up in the Bronx, walking on the street, getting cattle called and all that stuff. She's like, I'm used to it. So yeah, this is just Ice. I don't really feel like she's going to get into the industry and change. She's a Brooklyn, New York girl. And yeah, Ice Spice ain't changing. So shout out to Ice. Yeah, this is not her. Y'all go check it out. Let me know, like DM me, send me emails. Let me know what you think. But this is definitely I was going to say AI. It's definitely a touched up picture or a really bad angle. This is not how Ice Spice is looking. All right. In our fourth quick story, Donald Trump's legal advisor, Rudy Giuliani, disbarred for making false statements about Trump's 2020 election loss. All right, so y'all remember Rudy Giuliani, the mayor of New York. Remember when 9/11 happened? They were like, oh, Rudy Giuliani is the mayor of the world, like the mayor of the states. Like this guy's fall from grace has literally been, it's incredible. Former New York City mayor, federal prosecutor, and legal advisor to Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani has been disbarred. According to AB News, New York appeals court ruled on Monday that Giuliani's repeated false statements about Donald Trump's 2020 election loss has got him disbarred. Giuliani made various claims about election fraud after the vote in 2020 and stated that Donald Trump would challenge the conspiracy that was created by Democrats to ensure Trump lost the election. The court ruled that Giuliani be disbarred. I can't pronounce this word. Disbarred from practicing of law, effective immediately and until further ordered by the court, and his name stricken from the roll of attorneys and counselors in law at the state of New York. Wow. So that's it. It's over. He's not in the Rolodex. He's not anywhere. Done. The one good thing is it said until further order of this court. So maybe there's a way that he could, I don't know, maybe come back in 10 years or 5 years or who knows. But it doesn't say indefinite, doesn't say he can never come back. But yeah, Giuliani is out. I mean, if I remember correctly, this guy was like in debt and millions upon millions of dollars. Donald Trump wouldn't even pay for him to come out. Donald Trump was even paying him for lawyers. It's just Donald Trump just used up Giuliani for what he needs to use him up for, and he just threw him by the wayside, and now it's like over for him, man. Like I said, big fall from grace. And that's why they even started off the article by saying former New York City mayor, federal prosecutor, and legal advisor to Donald Trump. Like they said at one point he could have been the president of the United States. But anyways, that's it. No more Rudy Giuliani. All right, in our fifth and final speed story, Rihanna DMs GloRilla to ask her when her album is dropping, and she said, "I know it's mad hypocritical." Rihanna said, you got all summer, sis. I know this is mad hypocritical, but when is your album dropping?" Anyways, a lot of people are talking about this online because, as you know, everybody and their mama is just waiting for Rihanna to drop. So it's like, how dare you be asking somebody when they're going to drop? I agree with Charlemagne. Just sidebar to this story. That's why I wanted to talk about it. I don't feel the need to have another Rihanna album. I don't. Like, I don't know for what reason, but I feel like for the same reason why I don't need Dr. Dre's a new Chronic album. Or like, I don't need there's some artists that I'm like, yo, I'm good with what you gave me. Like, I don't want you to give me anything else, and I don't like the music. Sometimes when an artist has taken so long away, like, I'm afraid that they're going to do something to make me change their perception. And Rihanna is one of them. She's been out the game for so long, has given us such amazing, beautiful, classic, timeless music. Like, I don't need another Rihanna album. But anyways, that's just me. Yeah, y'all let me know what you think. Send me a DM, email me, or comment below. Do we need another Rihanna album? And can Rihanna be asking people when their album's coming out when she has promised to her fans that have been wanting an album to come out for literally the past 2 or 3 years, actually probably longer, maybe 5 or 6 years, that her new album is coming out, and there's no album yet. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, I'm excited about this one. What's a trend that is extremely overhyped? All right, somebody said BBLs pretending to be fit bodies. Do your thing, get your million surgeries, but don't lie about it. Our young girls need realistic expectations. Nori World said the Stanley Cup, it's just a damn cup. Okay, that's some disrespect. Yo, that's still a trophy that, it's a professional sport. Somebody said fake eyelashes, baby hair all the way down to your nose. That's funny. Somebody said clowning people for working 9-to-5 jobs in cubicles and not traveling or having a passport. Okay, I don't know if that's a trend, but maybe it is a trend because a lot of these younger people here, influencers, are like, yeah, they do kind of like make fun of 9-to-5 people. Somebody said putting your personal business on social media. That definitely is a trend that is overhyped because we don't need to do it. I feel like I've done a good job of stopping doing that. Somebody said wearing wigs with these effing curtain edges. Another person talking about edges. I love edges, man. I like the baby hair. Of course, it cannot be ridiculous, but a nice amount of baby hair, I'm with it. Twerking. Okay, twerking is not overhyped. I'm here for all the twerking. Social media famous people. I don't think that is overhyped. I think that is definitely a trend, but I don't know if it's overhyped. Well, I'm a very big social media person, so maybe I'm not the right person to ask. Wow, somebody said Sexy Red. Sexy Red's not overhyped, but I can see where you're coming from, but she's not overhyped. Influencers bugging people in public. That's a good one. You do see a lot of internet. You don't really see it much here, like in Canada. Well, sorry, in Montreal. But I do see how it's all over the US, and I could see like Mardi Gras, or I could see these places literally like any other time there's an event. I bet you're just mad Instagram people trying to be out there making content. I could see how that's happening. Men dressing like they're ladies. Okay. Somebody said Donald Trump being ratchet. Being ratchet, I don't really feel like that's being overhyped. I think there was a time where being ratchet was overhyped, but I don't really feel that now. Everybody wants to try to be fabulous, you know? People living above their means, credit card debt at an all-time high in America. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. That's a very, very good one. Somebody said BBL and Steve Harvey teeth. Wow, that's wrong. Another person said Sexy Red. Perfection, it doesn't exist. Okay, I like that. We got BBLs. Somebody said being parents. That's a good one. I don't know is it trending to be a parent? I don't know, but I feel like sometimes it is. I kind of agree with that. Somebody said relationship podcasts. Wow. I had like a little mini relationship podcast once. While I was doing it like lives and stuff, but no, I don't really listen to relationship podcasts. Somebody said content creator being considered comedians and vice versa. Content creators are the new comedians, love it or not, and it's not overhyped. It's really what it is. The BET Awards, the BET Awards were dope. Somebody said the Hawk 2 girl. Is she overhyped? I think she might be getting a little overhyped. Seriously, like I actually put this on my Exclucity media page where she actually did a sit-down interview. She's going to LA. She's going to have her own podcast. She's going to have a little show. And it's like, yo, you said Hawk 2 and now you're famous. Now, like that is the epitome of being overhyped. Like that's crazy. Sexy Red, PJs in public, bonnets. Let me see. Anything else? Somebody said anything on TikTok. I would say the unanimous thing is lashes and edges. All right. Send me an email, DM me, let me know. What do you think is the biggest trend that is extremely overhyped? Let me know. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, not a lot of sports going on. We're on summer hiatus with all the sports, or summer vacation, whatever you want to call it. But we all know that people are still talking about Bronny. I think it was like rookie day or maybe like a draft day or whatever. So they brought all the new rookies into their teams. And of course, the highlight was on Bronny James. I don't know exactly the conversation, but Rob Pelinka was quoted as saying, "Excuse me, I just want to clarify you." Sorry, this was JJ Redick said this. Sorry, he said, "I just want to clarify you. Rob Pelinka and I did not give Bronny James anything. Bron has earned his spot on the Lakers through hard work." So, I have been, I don't want to say flip-flopping, but I've kind of been like, the idea of Bronny getting drafted to the Lakers has been growing on me. I've been hearing different takes and different point of views. I wasn't a fan of it in the beginning. Didn't think there was anything extremely wrong with it, the whole nepotism part of it. I was more coming from the side, like I didn't think it was great parenting. Just like I don't think nepotism is great either. I think that you should let whomever is in their position grow and deserve to be in that position. When I had Exclucity, I had people in my family working there. I didn't give them manager jobs. They came in, and my godsons came in who was working stock and then planned to work up before COVID happened and all that stuff. So even another one of my cousin's sons, my nephew, he worked there and he came in stock and then he moved up and he never got anywhere but even like assistant manager or manager. He was in school at the time. But anyways, I just think that you definitely got to earn it. So, but I do see the whole side of, hey, there's been a lot of advantages that other cultures have had, and they have pulled up other people in their culture. And LeBron James doing that for his son, I get that aspect of it, which is a part maybe I didn't look at in the beginning. So I do agree and I do love it. However, this is where I kind of draw the line a little bit. And for JJ Redick to be in a conference and be like, yo, stop. It's probably a reporter saying, hey, stop. Just want to let you know something. We didn't give him anything. Like, he earned it. Like, we got to find a better way to word that because his statistics don't show that he earned it. And, there's no other element that you could give us or reason that you could give us to say that he earned it. So if it is, I am LeBron James. I work myself up to be one of the best basketball players to ever live. I worked to this, I worked that, and now I'm at the point where I could demand stuff. My son maybe did not, do this and this and this, but like I'm not a publicist, but you got to find some way to word it, man. You can't come out here and just be like, he earned his spot fair and square, because there's 20 kids that I could put in front of Bronny that should have been drafted before him. That's all I'm saying. So if you're going to do something, just do it and be unapologetic about it, at least at the minimum. So that's it. That's my take on that. Hopefully we won't have to talk about Bronny James anymore, because I think we have all exhausted our takes on this. But anyway, shout out to LeBron James and Bronny. All right, that's it. That is the show. Thanks for kicking with me as always. Like I said at the top of the show, I will not be here tomorrow. So Thursday and Friday I am off, but I will definitely be back on Monday to kick it with y'all. Before I go, just got to remind you, as always, if you're used to watching this show on YouTube or on podcast platforms, please try to check me out on Monday to Friday from 11 to 12 and on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trent Out Loud podcast. We mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great show. It's a great way to listen to the show. I actually love really listening to my own show when I do. It's not much, but when I do, I'm like, this is really good with the music. It breaks it up a little bit. So try to definitely check me out. It could be anywhere you want in the world, any device that has internet, CFQR600.com. Or like I said, if you're in the Montreal area, just put your radio to 600 AM from 11 to 12 Monday to Friday. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this podcast on CFQR 600, and you can always watch the show from 11 to 12, or you can always listen to the show from 11 to 12. Don't worry, you never have to miss a Trent Out Loud episode. All shows are uploaded daily on YouTube and podcast platforms. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or the follow button so you can be notified whenever we upload new shows. Lastly, if you like listening to your podcasts and watching them at the same time, of course, you check us out on YouTube, but Spotify now does have video. And if you ask me, it's a better way to watch your podcast, because if you get a call or if anything happens, you can close the app and open it back. And it's a lot more, it's a better viewing and listening experience than YouTube, because if you close the YouTube app, everything closes down. We're on Spotify, it stays open, it pops up, gives you a little window, and it keeps going while you're doing other things. So those are all the ways to check out the show. And like I've told you guys a million times already, you can check me out on Instagram at Trent Out Loud, or on Exclucity Media, EXCLUCITY Media, and and Trent Out Loud on all social media platforms. All right, I'm out. We got 2 days off. Happy Independence Day. Happy America Day. Y'all have fun out there in the U.S. I will see everybody back on Monday. Be safe, y'all. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.